Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Smooth Plays Podcast. All right. We're hitting y'all with our week 7 predictions here in this one. All right. So if you haven't checked out our week 6 recap, make sure you check it out. All right. I'm Austin, aka Austin Plays, joined once again by my guy, Dean, aka Mr. Smooth.
Yes, sir. Let's get into these matchups, man. I'm excited.
All right. If you're ready, I'm ready. All right. First game, Thursday night matchup. Denver Broncos going into New Orleans to play the Saints.
I want to see what you think about this one first.
Yeah, I mean, so for me, looking at this one, big thing is a lot of injuries in this one. Derek Carr is gonna still he's listed as doubtful. He's probably not gonna play. So Spencer Rattler is gonna be starting his second career game at quarterback for the Saints in this one, but he's going to be without Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed in this one, his top two weapons, at least through the air. And then for Denver, we talked about it in the recap episode. Pat Surtain went down pretty early with a concussion. He's still listed as out for this one. So it's a short week. If this wasn't a short week, we probably see him. But it being a short week, these concussions, they're going to be out for.
Yeah, in my opinion, this one you said last episode that road underdogs were 9-0 last week, and I continue.
Road favorites or
Road favorites are road favorites are were 9-0 last week, and I see that trend continuing here. The Saints are injury riddled, and I know Surtain probably won't play, but like you said, no Olave, no Shaheed. Like the Saints are 2-9 against the spread in their last 11 games as a home underdog. I'm not taking that. I don't like that.
yeah. Yeah, I think the Saints, if their recipe to win this one is going to be on the ground. But if I'm Denver, man, I'm loading the box, and you got to have Spencer Rattler beat you through the air with no receivers essentially. So this Denver defense is still very good, even without Pat Surtain. Obviously, not as good without Pat Surtain, but still a solid defense. And Bo Nix, he's had some really good games and he's had some not so good games. So I think if we get that version of Bo Nix that at least I've come to expect, I think that this is a game that Denver should be able to handle pretty easily. So for me, I'm going to be taking Denver in this one.
Yeah, I'm taking Denver as well. Don't forget that Sean Payton is going to have these guys ready to play at New
Yeah,
Orleans.
this is a Sean Payton revenge game. All right. So we're riding with the Broncos on this one Thursday night. All right. Moving into Sunday. All right. Sunday slate. We got another London game. Third week that we're getting London games, and second week in a row for the Jacksonville Jaguars facing off against the New England Patriots.
Yeah, honestly, just move them to London at this point because we both live in Florida, and I don't even know if I've ever met a Jaguars fan.
Yeah, I mean, if the Jags go out and have another performance like they did last week, I don't know if London would even want
Yeah, get that team out of London. They don't want,
them.
but
All right. But
in this
that being said, I mean, Drake May, okay? Week 2, your guy that you're ready to talk you ready to talk about him. Again, but no going into last week, rookie quarterbacks were 0-6. Caleb Williams breaks that seal. First rookie quarterback to get a win in London. And then you got another one following it up. I see that trend continuing with how it was in the past prior to Caleb Williams. I think it's just going to be too much. Jacksonville's been there already for a full, week and a half. And I think that lack or the fatigue from travel is gonna catch up to New England this one that Jacksonville has just used to or should be used to. So I think this is a good opportunity for Jacksonville to respond before they head back home to the States. And I think Jacksonville wins this one.
yeah, I think the point of them being there, a week ahead of time is a big point. That travels a lot on the body. To be honest, I do think Jacksonville is going to win the game, but I would not be surprised at all if New England wins because the way they looked last week, I really think the Jags might be the worst team in the NFL. And personally for me, there is no way I'm taking them minus 240.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, they're 5.5 point favorites in this one, and if we remember how the beginning of the year started, week one, every team that was a 5.5 point favorite did not cover that spread. So there is value for New England at a 5.5 point underdog here. So that being said, I do think Jacksonville still ends up winning this one.
I agree.
Moving on. All right. We got the Tennessee Titans going into Bills Mafia. And this is going to be the first time that we see Amari Cooper in a Bills uniform.
Yeah, I mean, I think he'll be incremented into the offense. He's not obviously going to be, know everything yet. So he
Yeah.
probably won't go out there and have 120 yards. Then again, they are playing the Titans at
hmm
home. So it's possible.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think that if there was a team that I was looking for like a tune up to kind of get my feet wet and get going, the Tennessee Titans are one of those teams I would want. So I wouldn't be surprised if they try to force feed Amari Cooper the ball just to kind of get him comfortable and acclimated with the offense.
Yeah, all the signs are pointing to this being a trap, but I'm already just saying it right now. This is my lock of the week. The Bills are
Yeah,
winning this game, and they're winning this game by double digits.
double digits. So your lock is going to be them winning, or your lock is going to be them covering the spread at 9.
Lock is going to be them winning, but
Okay.
I'm they're winning by double digits.
All right. Yeah. I don't disagree. I think the Bills, right? There's no reason that I think the Bills should lose this game whatsoever. I mean, from what we've seen from Tennessee and what we've seen from the Bills so far, right? There's yeah, like you said, no excuse, I think, for the Bills to lose this one. So I'm excited to see what Amari Cooper does in this offense. Moving on to Houston and the Packers. Houston Texans going into Green Bay. What are your thoughts on this one?
This is a battle of two good teams. Two
Both teams
really,
are hot.
yeah, two teams that are coming off what 20-point wins each
Yeah,
of them last week.
two
Uh,
really good showings for sure.
yeah, Green Bay's getting 2.5 points at home here. I like Green Bay, man. You know I'm high on the Packers. I'm higher than probably Packers fans are on the Packers, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I again, I mean, I think you're right on. I think this is an opportunity for the Packers. This is going to be kind of their chance to go out there and get a statement win, right? Houston's 5-1, considered one of the better teams in the NFL right now. And Green Bay, you're at home, and it like we always say, it's no secret. Lambeau is one of the toughest places to play on if you're a road team. They're still missing Nico Collins, all right, who's their top receiver. So we'll see Stephon Diggs and Tank Dell kind of get the brunt of the passing game. And then I think Joe Mixon should be coming back this week for Houston, which is a plus for Houston.
Last week against New England.
He did come back last week. Okay, my fault. Regardless, that should, again, so Houston's going to be Houston, right? They're going to be competitive. But I like Green Bay in Lambeau, and I'm leaning on the side of taking Green Bay here to win this one outright.
Yeah, wait, we haven't disagreed yet. I think Green Bay is going to win this one outright as well.
All right, moving on. Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants. This game is one I think we'll probably still be on the same page with, but I want to hear what you have to say.
I think in that brain of yours, you're thinking about maybe sprinkling something on the Giants here as home underdogs.
You would be correct, my friend.
I will say, I just have a feeling about this game. With the way they looked last week, the Giants have been competitive. And honestly, if any Giants fan is coming at Brian Dable's head, I think you're crazy. Because with
Yeah.
their roster is one of the least talented rosters in the NFL, in my opinion, especially with Neighbors being hurt too
Mhm.
recently. And he's made that team has been competitive. Um, but I think Saquon's going to go crazy in his return to New York, and he is
Yeah.
going to. I could see him having multiple touchdowns in this game.
Yeah.
because he's going to make a statement.
Yeah, this is going to be a statement game for Saquon, or at least an opportunity to be a statement game. But you're forgetting, man. Did you not watch Hard Knocks in the offseason? The New York Giants took Saquon leaving and going to Philadelphia very, very personally. And I think this is just a team that is going to be fired up. It's a divisional game. It's going to be close. 3-point underdogs at home. Again, no neighbors, but this Eagles defense has been, you know, kind of piss poor throughout the year. And I think this is going to be an opportunity for Danny Dimes to be like, this is why you chose me over Saquon. This is why I got a contract and Saquon didn't. I think that this is going to be a Danny Dimes statement game, and I like the Giants. I like the Giants to win, honestly.
Oh,
I think the Giants right here are going to be my dog of the week.
okay. Wow. Bold statement from O'Hare. Sorry, from Austin. I can't quite. Uh, Hey, I like it, but I do disagree. I think the Eagles win this game, and I think on the other hand, Saquon comes out and shows them you should have paid me because I'm a dog.
I think regardless, I'm excited to watch it. I think
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
this is actually going to be a very, very good game.
Yes, I agree.
All right. Moving on, we got the Detroit Lions, another divisional matchup against the Minnesota Vikings.
This is gonna be on my TV at 1 o'clock as
Yeah,
well.
absolutely.
That's
They say we got some good games here. I mean, we got Houston and Green Bay so far. Philly and New York, and now another divisional game between two top dogs between the Lions and the Vikings.
yeah, and this has been a normal thing for me, but I'm gonna continue to do it until I'm right. I'm betting against the Vikings, man. I think the Lions are winning this.
You're just
I
gonna
know.
go by the mindset they have to lose
Yeah, they
eventually.
I know the Lions last week, everyone's high on them from Dallas. No Hutchinson is big because he is,
Mhm.
like you said, he was in a great spot for Defensive Player of the Year. Vikings off a bye. I love that for the Vikings perspective, but I really think the Lions might win the Super Bowl. And I think they're going to win this game.
Yeah, I don't know. That Aiden Hutchinson injury that hurt. It hurts.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, it hurts a lot. I mean, he is kind of the backbone of this defense. You know, the corner piece for this defense. So not having that, I think, is going to have an impact. And you noted it. Vikings are coming off of a bye week. They're at home. They're underdogs at home. I think that this is going to be a chance for them again to once again prove that I don't know why Dean keeps doubting us, and we're going to prove him wrong once again and advance to 6-0. The I'm in the same boat as you, but the opposite end. Until the Vikings can prove to me that they are not the team that they've shown they are through the first 5 games they've played, like I'm gonna keep riding with the Vikings, man. I like the Vikings to win this one at home.
Hey, we disagree, but I see what you're saying. You can't get off that train until they stop. But I'm off it
Hey,
because
ride it till the rails fall off, baby.
I've never been on the train, so I'm on now.
All right. So again, hey, these early window games. There's some good ones. I'm surprised that the ones we've seen so far, none of these are flexed or
Yeah,
in the prime time windows.
wait till you see the Sunday night matchup because I know what that is
All
already.
right, so we got the Seattle Seahawks and the Atlanta Falcons in this one. All right, birds and birds.
The battle of the birds. Atlanta's getting 2.5 points here at home. Rightfully so. They've looked like the better team recently.
Mhm.
Seattle's pretty banged up, but a weakness for this Falcons team is rushing the passer and getting sacks. And
Mhm.
I think that's the biggest weakness for this Seattle team.
Yeah.
Uh, I actually like Seattle here at plus 125 to win this
Okay.
game. I think Atlanta has a little bit of a letdown spot. Everyone's high on the Falcons. They win back-to-back NFC South games. Seattle's lost three in a row. I'm taking Seattle on this one.
Man. We started out, we were in sync, man, and we have hit a complete 180 because I couldn't disagree with you more. I mean, I think that this is a spot where Atlanta's gonna clear Seattle. I mean, Seattle, again, their three wins to start the year were against not great teams, and quite frankly, they lost to the Giants, who are again are not a team that's, all that. And then I'm looking at the weakness of the Seattle defense is their run game, which the the Falcons lean on the run game. Like they have Kirk Cousins, they have Drake London, right? They got guys, but they still lean on this run game. And I think that they're just gonna run all over Seattle, and this one's not even gonna be close. Like I got Atlanta winning this one big. I think I'm gonna go ahead and I'm probably gonna call this one my lock of the week. I
Wow.
think I think Atlanta's got this one, man.
I think it will be high scoring. I do agree with you that I think Atlanta will be able to run the ball very effectively, but I also don't see where Atlanta's going to stop the Seattle offense from scoring. I think it will be a very high scoring game. And don't forget, Kirk Cousins has changed. He used to be bad on prime time in any other window than 1 o'clock. Now the 1 o'clock window, he hasn't been playing so well. Even last week against Carolina was a 425 game. You get him out of that 1 o'clock window and they win. Inside of it, he seems to struggle.
Hey, we'll see. I mean, just looking at kind of where the season has gone right so far for Seattle, the teams they've played, the teams they've beat, the teams they lost. I mean, Atlanta's just one of those teams that looking at it, they should easily beat this team. So that's why I'm looking at Atlanta. They got a good they match up well. I mean, they got guys in the secondary. AJ Terrell is still one of the better corners in the league. They got Jesse Bates, who's probably the best safety in the league right now. And I just think they got guys to kind of match up and handle business at home for Atlanta. Moving on, Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. Okay, we're still in our early window, and we got another divisional game.
Another divisional game, and this is always, this is no bias here, the most fun division, no games to watch. Uh,
Okay.
the AFC North, baby. Hard-nosed AFC North football.
Yeah, just dirty and
Yeah,
nasty
this
work.
one's a pretty nasty one. But I will say that as long as Deshaun Watson is taking snaps, I don't want any part of the Browns.
Yeah. Um, yeah, we talked about it in our last episode that this is going to be kind of the first, it should be the first time we see Nick Chubb on the field for the Cleveland Browns. We'll see, excuse me, we'll see if he can kind of ignite this Cleveland Browns offense that has been non-existent to start the year. And, we were talking about Jameis being the spark, but maybe Nick Chubb is the spark. And Cincinnati's defense until last week has been the worst defense in the league. And we'll see if Cincinnati can kind of keep with that momentum and push towards getting back in a position where they are kind of front runners and contenders, at least in the AFC.
Yeah, I will say, what's crazy about this game is obviously there's going to be a winner and a loser. And on one side, you either have the Browns who are going to be 1-6 or the Bengals are going to be 2-5. And if you would have told me that those teams would have been 2-5 or 1-6 at the beginning of the season, I would have called you an idiot.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, these are two teams that both had high expectations going into the year and to start have just underperformed time and time again. So this could get really, I think that it's not great for either team. Obviously, I think if either of these, whichever one comes out with a loss, you know, you have some serious red flags going off in your head.
Oh, for sure. If the Bengals lose this game, I will say that their season's over.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't completely disagree with you there. It would be very, very hard. They haven't even played the Steelers. They just played the Ravens, but they haven't played the Steelers yet, who the Steelers look good. I mean, that's two games that are going to be tough matchups for them. I mean, and I haven't even looked at the rest of their schedule, but I know that they got some tough ones down the road. So we'll see. That I would call this a must win if you're Cincinnati.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like I said, if they and because I already gave up Cleveland season is over. No
Yeah.
matter what you do, they're done. Cincinnati, if you lose this game the way Cleveland has looked, just wrap it up. Joe Burrow
Hmm.
can keep having 300 yards every week, but y'all are just going to keep losing games. It's that simple.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. Okay. Did we make our picks on that? What was your pick for that one?
I can't. Cincinnati is who I'm on. I'm not taking Cleveland with Deshaun.
Okay. Yeah. I'm riding with Cincinnati as well. Cincinnati should win this one. I'm not even gonna worry about touching points. I mean, both of these teams, I got to see some consistency from Cincinnati to be able to take them -5.5. So we're both rocking with the Bengals in that one. Finally back on track. um, Miami and Indianapolis. I think
My,
for this one, for me at least, this is kind of a similar story as last week. If Joe Flacco starts, man, I think Indianapolis should win this game. I mean, if not, I don't know. I think anything could happen, but this is a Miami team that has, again, without Tua, looked lost. And I don't know. I feel like just at some point, Tyreek Hill's going to explode. And I think that it's not far-fetched to say that he could explode this week.
yeah, I'm actually on the Dolphins here. Coming off the bye, Colts coming off a win. They've won two in a row. Uh, I just think Miami, or no, the Colts lost to Jacksonville. But they beat the Steelers. They won two of their last three. But I think Miami's going to be able to control this game running the ball. Uh, and if their run can get going, like you said, Hill can have a massive game whenever. Um, I just think Miami's in a spot here where they're going to be able to run the ball, and Huntley hopefully can play well enough to, win the game.
Yeah. I would say Huntley hasn't really shown he hasn't shown anything so far, but like at least this season, but in the past, right? He's proven that he can win games. So, it's only a matter of time. And I think that this is a spot, if you're Miami, this is a spot for y'all to go out there and, get a tough win on the road, right? It's not going to be pretty. I mean, it's just going to come down to, making a couple more plays than the Indianapolis Colts can. And so I'm going to be riding with the Dolphins on this one. I'm actually probably just going to ride with them plus points here. Just because I think they're just hit or miss right now.
I agree with that.
All right. Finally getting into our late window, Carolina Panthers and the Washington Commanders. Woo! This is gonna be exciting. Um, that's sarcasm. This game should not be exciting at all. Washington, you're coming off a loss to the Ravens, and we say this like all the time. Get right game, all right? This is going to be a get right game for you to go out there, handle business, and be like, hey, we lost the game, but we competed with a top team. Now we have a game at home against a very below average team. We're going to go out there, we're going to beat you by 20.
Yeah, the Commanders should win this game by 20. They are the better team. Um, we know how good Jaden Daniels has looked. And honestly, their offense as a whole has just been great. And that's, as we've said multiple times, kind of gone throughout the locker room and made this defense play even better.
Hmm.
I want you to close your eyes and plug your ears because my pick is Carolina to win this game.
Oh
And
my God.
I really think that Washington, like you said, they go into Baltimore, play good, their fans are optimistic. This is a classic Washington Commander slash Redskins. Have you ever met a Redskins or Commander fan that has actually been happy? No, always let down. This is the spot where this is the get right game. Andy Dalton goes in there, throws for 300 plus, and the Panthers beat the Commanders because Carolina can move the ball through the air, and Washington they're not a good pass defense. Let's be honest. And yeah, like I said, Don't listen to it. It's gross. Carolina's winning this game.
Oh my goodness. I that might be take of the year. Oh my God. I was not ready for that at all. Wow. You completely like threw me for a loop with that one. Um, I will say I don't completely hate. Like we said, I said blow them out by 20. Obviously, I don't think they're gonna just blow them out by 20. This is the NFL. That doesn't just happen on a regular basis. And yeah, the Carolina Panthers, right, since Andy Dalton's taken over, have put points up. Like I want to say, since he's been the starter, they've put 20 points up in 3 of the 4 games that he started. I mean, who's to say that he doesn't go out there and they put up, say, 27, 28 points? Um, I mean, I don't completely hate it. It's just crazy though. It's crazy that I was kind of like, yeah, I definitely didn't think you would say they're gonna win this one outright. I 100% could have seen you taking them +8. Um, I like the over in this one though a lot. I think the over in this one is really, really enticing. So this is gonna be this could potentially be one of those games that is just a lot of, kind of the case of two bad teams make for exciting football. And yeah, I think this could be one of those games. So we'll see what happens. If Carolina pulls this one off, like I don't know what kind of mojo you were drinking from, but
Hey, I will say the smart bet would probably just be actually I don't want to even say the smart, but if you are going to take the Panthers, the smart bet would probably just be take the points. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit on the money line, just a little
just
bit,
tease it a little bit.
just a little
Oh
bit.
my God. Look, hey, it's going to be an exciting Sunday. That's all I'm going to say, man. All
I'm
right. Moving in, stay in our late windows. We got the Raiders and the Rams. I don't know how you top that. So I'm going to just give you the floor and say good luck.
well, I won't try to top it, but I'll give you a lot, simpler explanation here. I'm taking the Rams, and I'm not even thinking twice about it. McVay off the bye. The Raiders don't have Adams. I think Cooper Kupp is going to come back this week.
Hmm.
Uh, Especially just after trading Adams. Like who on the Raiders is a playmaker other than Brock Bowers in this
Yeah, I
offense?
mean Brock Bowers, they have what's his face, Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers has been, a serviceable wide receiver for the Raiders in the past, but as a wide receiver one, I just don't see him being able to get the job done. And then yeah, Cooper Kupp's list is questionable, but I think he should play. At some point, these Rams are gonna get healthy and they're gonna get back on the right track, right? They are coming off a bye, which I think highly benefits them, dealing with all the injuries that they had. Say if they go out and win this one, they're 2-4. So, you know, it's fair to say that you can't completely write this team off.
Yeah, if they get healthier week and week, watch out because this team's talented,
Hmm.
especially on the offensive side of the ball. If their offense can get healthy, they can score with anyone in the league, to be honest. It might just be too little too late if their
Yeah,
record is too bad, but we'll see.
yeah, that's it. But yeah, I think we're both rocking with the Rams on that one. And then closing out our late window games, we got a Super Bowl rematch between the Kansas City Chiefs, who are still undefeated, and the San Francisco 49ers.
I want to hear what you got to say first.
Well, I'll just say this. The last time that the Niners were at home, we were talking about how we couldn't remember the last time we saw the Niners lose at home, and then they lost at home. The Chiefs are going to get their first loss of the year this week. I don't know why. I mean, the Chiefs, again, they're defending Super Bowl champs, right? They got Pat Mahomes. But something about this Niners team, I mean, they've they've kind of got off to a slow start, and something tells me that this Niners team is about to just run through the league and rip off like 6, 7 wins in a row. So I think that this Niners team has a very good shot to go ahead and win this one and get redemption for the Super Bowl last year.
I agree. I think the Niners will win this game. If this is a potential Super Bowl matchup again this season, I would 1,000% be on the side of the Chiefs. To be honest with you, if this was a playoff game, I'm still taking the Chiefs no matter what.
Yeah.
I do think the Chiefs will lose their first game there here, though. The Niners get back on the right track at home because, like you said, they don't lose there often. They also don't get the Kansas City Chiefs coming to town that often, though, either.
Yeah.
This is I mean, this is two top five teams in the NFL. So this is really a tough game to pick, but I guess I'll take the Niners at home, but I don't love it. I could
Yeah.
see the going in there and
This
winning.
might be one that you just kind of sit back and enjoy.
Yeah.
So, but for the sake of the podcast, we're both rocking with the Niners to win this one. All right. And then Sunday night matchup. This was what you were gassing it when we started. All right. New York Jets going into Pittsburgh in prime time. Let's hear it.
Hey, there's nothing like a game in Pittsburgh in prime time. Hopefully this one gets started on time and doesn't
Yeah.
start at
Hopefully we'll have an hour and a half delay like we did last time.
But maybe this is me trying to do reverse psychology, but I actually like the Jets in this game. The reason I say that is because I don't like what's going on with this whole Russell Wilson situation. First of all, and I think if they do start Russell Wilson and his first game back, uh, regardless being at home or not, I don't like him in his first game.
Hmm.
And this Rodgers Adams connection is going to be like they, never
Yeah.
left.
It's going to be like they never left Green Bay.
And then you got Wilson. Like the Jets' offense is going to be a lot better with Devontae Adams. I don't
Hmm.
think because you got Garrett Wilson and Adams, who are probably two top 10 receivers on the same team now.
Yeah.
And yes, the Steelers defense is, probably top three and top five in the NFL. I just don't like that stuff that's going on with the QB situation. So I would take the Jets in this one.
Yeah. I was gonna say kind of the same thing. I think there's a lot of stuff that's going on in the locker room of the Pittsburgh Steelers right now. If there was a guy that I was be like, able to control the locker room, Mike Tomlin is definitely that guy. But ultimately, I just think that yeah, the Jets got Devontae Adams, right? Not to discredit, the Steelers defense is good, but I think that adding Devontae Adams just is going to completely revamp how we see this New York Jets offense. And not to mention, I mean, last week what we saw from the Jets, at least early on in the game, they were moving the ball like
Yeah.
they have not all year. So if they can kind of bring that into this game and get off to a hot start, like it's going to be rough for the Steelers. I think Wilson and Fields are splitting reps with the first teams this week in practice, so I don't know how that's going to affect the game plan come game day, and how prepared whoever starts is how prepared they're going to be. So yeah, I like the Jets to win this one. Also, unfortunately for the Steelers,
Yeah, I'm gonna just say the Jets and hope that the Steelers win. I definitely won't be putting anything on the
rooting.
yeah.
All right. And then moving on, we got two Monday night matchups. All right. The Ravens and the Bucks. So, I mean, look, Baker's Baker's Baker. Like, you can't say enough about the guy. He's been incredible all year. Last week was probably his worst, one of his worst games that I've seen from him as a Buck, just in terms of turning the ball over and like taking care of the ball. That's what he's been known for, at least since he got to Tampa, is his ability to take care of the ball. And he just really didn't. Um, and then this Ravens team is hot. I think since they dropped their home game to Vegas, I mean, this team has just been on fire. And I'm kind of siding with you. in your approach. I'm not gonna root for the Ravens, but if I were to pick a team non-biased, I mean, I just think the Ravens are too hot, and the Bucks have looked shaky at times, especially last week. They looked real shaky. They got up real early, but then gave up 27 points in the second quarter, which was crazy. A crazy number to give up in a quarter.
Yeah.
So I think that the Ravens at this point are just the better team, and it's going to be tough for the Bucks to kind of rally, even being at home in this one.
Yeah, I think the Bucks will be able to score for sure. I just don't see their defense stopping Baltimore because, to be honest, I know it was only one quarter, but and Baker was really just giving them the ball in that quarter.
Yeah,
But I go back to that Falcons game with this Bucks defense, man. Like the Falcons cannot be stopped, and they're playing another offense that's really talented. And I know they run the ball more than pass, but we've seen Lamar put up numbers the last
yeah,
couple, and I really think the Ravens. The fact that Derrick Henry is in the backfield, if you can have Lamar come out here and be this great passing quarterback, this guy's going to win the MVP if he continues to do what he's doing.
yeah. I mean, yeah, he just needs to keep showing that he's not a one-dimensional guy. He's not just going to run it. He can also hurt you with his arm. So,
Yeah, with that being said, I'm on the Ravens as well. I think the Ravens will win this game.
all right. So we're both picking the Ravens to get the win. Bucks, don't let me down. Come on, prove me wrong. All right, let's get to 5-2. The last Monday night game is going to be the Chargers and the Cardinals.
This one is strange because I think we're both, pretty big believers that the Cardinals are sneaky. And, when they sneak up on these teams that we think are better than them, that's their, chance to win these games. And I honestly think this is a pretty decent spot. I see them at plus 135 against the Chargers, which is just what this is saying on my screen. But I just think that the Chargers are going to be able to run the ball and control this clock against Arizona.
Yeah, I mean, look, if we've learned anything, and even going back to Michigan from a Jim Harbaugh offense, is that their plan is to establish the run. And yeah, this is an Arizona Cardinals defense that struggles at times, and I think that they can just run all over Arizona. And if they're able to do that, keep the ball out of Kyler's hands, I don't see this Arizona team, even getting their feet off the ground. And I think the Chargers could win this one big.
Yeah, if the Chargers go up early, that's when they really can do their damage. And Arizona's had a tendency, especially last week too, of going down early. Um, I don't know. I'm on LA in this one.
Yeah. Also, Marvin Harrison's listed as questionable, so
He doesn't play
um,
definitely on LA.
I don't. Yeah, if he doesn't play 100%, the Chargers should win this one. But it's I think it still has the potential to be close. But I do think that the Chargers win this game at the end of the day. All right. Well, that wraps up all of our week 7 predictions. We're looking forward to it. You got anything else you want to add before we wrap this thing up?
Hey, I just want to say this is probably one of the best slates of the week, I think, with the matchups. And watch out for those Panthers, baby.
Oh
Go
boy.
Carolina.
That I'm not gonna lie, that could be the take of the year
They
if they
win.
actually win this one. That might be on the, end of season highlight reel. All right. Well, I don't have anything else, right? I agree 100%. Very exciting football all around the league. Should be fun to watch. Um, but we're gonna wrap this one up. Make sure y'all stay tuned for our recap episode next week. Make sure y'all leave a like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you share. And we appreciate y'all stopping by. We'll see you on the next one.
Yes, sir.